I only intended to watch it twice, but then somebody in the Discord said that the score was great, so I rewatched it and just listened to the music.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't know anybody was here. Sorry, I'm just reading Ultimate Fantastic Four. Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Sanders. It is the 26th of February, 2021. Josh is joining me. Hello, Josh.
Hello. Hello, hello.
This is episode 8. We are discussing WandaVision. Sorry, I got to clean up my desk a little bit. I've got things like Fantastic Four laying around. Let me just get that out of the way. And I've got Herbie. Nobody knows where Reed is, so I got Herbie right here. We've been looking for Reed Richards.
I thought you meant the car.
No, I meant the robot. I am trolling just a little bit because I know the teasers. I read my DMs. I know what everybody thinks is about to happen next week, so I apologize. I'm trolling you a little bit. Anyway, we are discussing episode 8 of WandaVision. I'm going to get Josh's thoughts first because it's always weird for me because I'm not going to have the same raw reaction, so to speak, because of the description. So, Josh, right off the bat, let's start off with your overall thoughts. What is your overall review of this episode?
I just thought it was a very necessary episode. I thought it had to happen for the show to flow well, and I did actually really enjoy it. I just liked that it was it was based on character moments rather than, kind of gimmicks.
Fair.
Just felt which I liked.
All right. Now, favorite part of the episode?
When Wanda and Vision were talking in the compound.
Right on, man. That was mine too. Right on. Least favorite part of the episode, if you had one.
Ooh. I don't think I do. It was actually a very solid episode as a whole.
Okay. So, I totally agree. It was my favorite episode so far. I loved it, and I'm right there with Josh. My favorite scene was the scene at the compound after the events of Age of Ultron. Really, really just beautiful and really powerful. I was very emotional during that scene. That really got to me. Real quick, I want to welcome everybody. LRG Tech, Ben, Ricky, Adam, Caleb. Hello, everyone. One thing I got to say, because Adam asked this, did she have her powers before the gym? Yes, 100%. Wanda's always had her powers. She's always had them. The gem did not give her her powers. The Infinity Gem, the Infinity Stone, whatever you want to call it. In the comics, it's an Infinity Gem. But I want to make that very clear. Wanda's always had her powers. Again, I have to say, the other shoe's about to drop. There is one episode left. There is another shoe about to drop. Liz says, I was very upset when she said, I can't feel you. Oh, I'm right there with you. I am 100% right there with you. Incredibly. It was so good. It was 100% so well done diving into this part of Wanda's history. Now, again, it's all from her perspective. It's all her memories. There is, I have to stress, another episode that is yet to air. White Vision does look amazing. Absolutely. I loved it from the comics. Now, I will say, because again, full transparency, Josh, you have not been watching, you've not been informed of any of the leaks.
No, none of them.
And you haven't watched my leak videos.
No.
Okay. What was your genuine reaction to the post-credit scene in this episode?
It was kind of just like, holy shit, it's White Vision. And I don't know why, but like the thing that stuck out to me the most was that he had I don't remember the name of it. It's a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but the element that Tony Stark made is in his head, which I thought was a bit, I don't know, it just stood out to me.
Yeah. Vision's pretty much, again, they've kind of, Hayward has pretty much stolen a whole bunch of tech. I mean, that's just the simplest way to put it, and has reverse engineered and created this entity, let's call it that. Ben says Vision is king of beautiful quotes. A thing isn't beautiful because it lasts, and now what if grief is love persevering, which yes is a really powerful quote. Excuse me. Adam says, now I have a feeling Agatha might just be the villain or a twist is coming. CRXSS says, hoping the finale wraps everything up well and covers all its bases. I'm not concerned. I got to be honest. I have to be very honest. To each their own, to be fair, but I think people are going to be very satisfied by the finale. So Josh,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a few questions because I cannot answer any of these. Where do you sit right now on? It's going to be a two-parter question. Mephisto versus Nightmare. Which one do you think is a supposed other villain?
I'm I'm kind of starting to think there isn't one.
Okay,
But I
interesting.
feel like just looking at the way you talk about it, because I feel like you saying Nightmare versus Mephisto kind of almost confirms one.
All I'm doing is all I'm doing is aggregating. I'm taking a lot of questions people ask me that I can't answer, and I'm asking you.
Well, if I'm going off what I've seen so far, I don't see them shoehorning another villain in one episode.
Okay, fair enough. I respect that. Liz Edit says, "I have to ask if Wanda's powers come from chaos magic, then why didn't Pietro die during the experiments with the Infinity Stone? There is another shoe yet to drop."
Since you can't say anything, can I say what my
Yes,
theory?
Josh. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they're both mutants,
Okay.
and he survived because he's a mutant.
Okay. So, Josh, what do you think is up with Quicksilver?
I just I got the impression that he was kind of like a guard dog for her at the end of last episode, and that's what I kind of feel like he's just controlled by her.
Okay, but still, do you think it is? Do you think it's Fox's Quicksilver?
I don't know, because they confirmed it wasn't the MCU Quicksilver, but
It is not the MCU Quicksilver, but is it Fox's Quicksilver? Yes or no? I mean, like the next week is the last episode, so now it's time to really place your bets. Is it Fox Quicksilver? Yes or no?
fuck. I'm gonna say yes. Wishful thinking, but yes.
Okay, you're gonna say yes. All right then. What if the book releases a villain? Interesting, Ricky. That's an interesting theory. I respect that. I haven't heard that from a lot of people. Ben says the only way I see another villain showing up now is if they carry over to Doctor Strange 2. Not enough time for them to come and go. Interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna feel the same.
yeah. CRXSS says I thought Agatha was building up to calling Wanda a mutant when she was trying to figure out Wanda through her memories. Oh, that's interesting. I see. A little bit of a bait and switch. Okay, Josh. Next question is, I guess we'll start with this one first. Yes, Quicksilver did get possessed in the comics. And then Adam says, what if a villain has been there the whole time? Interesting. Josh, I'm going to ask you this now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And this is another two-part question, is the aerospace engineer anybody from the comics? Yes or no?
I should just clear this up. We didn't see the aerospace engineer in this episode, did we?
No.
Okay. Yes, I think it is.
Okay, so you think the aerospace engineer is someone from the comics. Who do you think the aerospace engineer? No more
Again,
bets. You got to name the person you think it would be.
it's still wishful thinking, but Reed Richards.
Reed Richards. And who do you think would play Reed Richards?
John Krasinski.
Okay, all right. Do you think, yes or no, do you think a Spider-Man will appear in the finale?
Um, no, I'm gonna say no.
No. Okay, all right, fair.
I think it'd be too crowded.
It is, Liz. That's a very interesting observation, Liz. Okay, then. Another couple of questions, Josh. And again, do you think Magneto is in the finale?
Christ. Yes.
Okay. Do you
I
think
do.
Professor Xavier is in the finale?
I, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Now, when I ask both of these, of course, I think we would agree Are you expecting? I guess another part is, will it be a Magneto from the Fox universe?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna stick with my gut, saying that it's I said it was Foxman Quicksilver, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Would it be Michael Fassbender or Ian McKellen?
God, I hope it's Ian McKellen.
Okay. And so you do not think we will see a Fox Professor Xavier in the finale?
No, I don't.
You
But
don't.
that
Okay.
doesn't mean we'll never see him.
Well, I know, I know. I'm just again. We're lining up our entire bets.
Mm.
CRX says, if you had to estimate how long do you think the finale is? It's tough because descriptions don't say a lot and they go by really fast. And the last thing I want to do is set anybody's expectations. I don't. I've heard nothing on a time length. That's the honest truth, and I don't think the descriptions is enough that reveals anything about time. Is what I mean. I really that's honestly how I feel about it. Josh, I will throw that over to you because you're approaching this with a virgin mind. How long do you think the finale could be? Because you
I
don't even
think
know
it
the
has.
descriptions.
No, I don't. But I think it, like, not including credits, I think it's gotta be near an hour, at least.
Okay. Okay.
Just so many things not tied up yet.
Now that we know the truth about Vision, will Vision make it out of this show alive?
I think yes. Yeah, I've got a little theory about that as well.
Oh, you got a theory about it? Let's hear it. I didn't know you had a theory, so again, we're gonna let's stop. What's your theory?
I think Wanda could like merge White Vision with her Vision to make one Vision, and
That's
basically just give
interesting.
Vision his body back.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good one. That's a good. So you think the end of the show will be Wanda merging her spiritual vision with the White Vision?
Yes, I think so.
So you don't think like White Vision's going to get destroyed in a battle?
I oh maybe, but there's no reason Wanda couldn't just repair him
I see. I
because
see.
she can basically do anything.
Yeah, especially that is fair. Then okay, will Doctor Strange appear in the finale?
I'm still holding out that Senor Scratch is Doctor Strange, even though he ate that bird's fly thing. I don't care. He's still Doctor Strange.
Well, okay, so hang on a minute. So not only that, you also think the rabbit. You think Doctor Strange is going to be in the show, but you think the rabbit is Doctor Strange. That's
I've
your.
been backing it since day one, so I'm
So
gonna say
you're
yeah.
okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure we're all clear. Joe says his theory is the Mind Stone in Vision's head is pulled from some other dimension, which would make Doctor Strange intervene. So I doubt Vision will make it out alive. That's Joe's theory. LRG Tech says Obadiah Shaw could come in the MCU. LRG Tech also says, of course, he wants Christoph Waltz as Magneto.
So do I.
Frank thinks Spider-Man will appear in the finale. He doesn't specify which one.
All of them.
LRG Tech is standing by his theory. He says the rabbit is obviously Nicholas Scratch, which, of course, is Agatha's familiar in the comics.
Yeah.
But anyway, so just to catch up, you do think Doctor Strange will appear, but you think he's captured and he is the rabbit.
See, this is the worst one to make bets on because I'm not being a. I have to say yes or no, so I'm just gonna say yes because I hope so.
Ricky says if Magneto is in the finale, he could recruit her to a team, aka the Brotherhood of Mutants, and that could lead into the Multiverse of Madness. That is very interesting. That is a very interesting theory. Like a multiverse Brotherhood, because I will say. Well, no, I won't say anything. I shouldn't say that. Josh, if
Yeah.
they introduce do you expect just a sudden appearance from the MCU's Magneto? To introduce a whole new actor and character instead of using the multiverse just right now. I mean, I'm not saying the MCU won't have a Magneto. I just mean just for right now to have that kind of big. Do you think they would do that?
I don't think they would drop a new character with a new actor just in the finale of an episode.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
really don't.
All right. Um, and then, do you believe that Wanda, this series will end with a rip in the multiverse? Like that's pretty much going to be kind of a sort not that the show ends on a cliffhanger, but that's where it goes into. That it pretty much the multiverse is ripped open. Like, is that what you expect?
Yeah, that's what I've been expecting since the first episode, really.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say that because I've always thought that this is going to be what causes all the multiverse shenanigans to come.
Yeah, that as if this is all. I mean, again, that's something we've been talking about for weeks. Like the idea that even before we started receiving leaks, we talked about this feels like set up. Like this is going to be what creates the multiverse. Like this is going to be what
Yeah.
breaks down the walls, however you want to describe it. Maybe not create the multiverse, but that might be the wrong phrase. But I really, really do believe that this is going to be what destroys everything. Adam has an interesting question. Josh, I'll ask you this. What do you
Hmm.
think of the odds are for an appearance by Baron Mordo?
I always got the impression that he was going to be saved for like much later in the MCU for like Doctor Strange 3. So
Well,
I'm
we
gonna
know
say
he's coming back in Multiverse of Madness.
I did not know that, but I do
Oh,
now. But I mean,
okay.
I guess it's
My
it's
bad.
feasible because she's he wants to get rid of all the magic and she is like the magic right now.
She's the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, she's the hot thing at the moment. So
Yes. Quite literally.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean very.
I love Elizabeth Olsen. She's an amazing performer.
Yeah.
She really is. Did a great job in this episode. I was kind of upset. I had a DM today when I finally got on and started getting ready to do the live stream, and I had a DM from somebody, and they were like, "Man, this was the worst episode," and I was like, "What?
Yeah, I've heard that from a few people.
What? No, it
I think they're
wasn't."
people who I think they are people who watch Marvel for like the big fight scenes and they don't enjoy the little character
Do you
moments.
think people
Either
are
that or it's just your opinion.
do you think because that's actually I want to go back to that interesting I want to go back to that statement of what you said first. Do you think people are losing their sense of like of having the of I don't know if it's patience or attention to enjoy drama? Do you think that's like people are losing that?
I don't know, I feel like it's just from what's happened so far in the MCU, I feel like people aren't expecting it and it's not really what they're looking for because it's never been the forefront as much as it is in this. Like
Yeah,
this
but
is a character-based show.
yeah, but and again, if you've been watching these shows, you know how he and I feel about this. But and I think Josh and I are on the same page. But like Josh, if you had to choose which one you would want more of, like the future direction of the MCU, more of this kind of character drama, or more flashy fights, which one would you choose?
Character drama all the way.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'd rather half the movies don't even have fights in them.
I agree because again, this goes back to the comics. I know you haven't read like a lot of Marvel comics, but like I 100% absolutely agree. Action does not make something good. Having a fight in the third act, having a glowing light in the sky, a CGI fight fest does not make something good. This was actual true drama and conflict. This was real character, and I love it. I mean, this is what I want. This is the direction I want to see Marvel go more toward, because eventually, audiences will get numb of the action. My wife and daughter already are. I mean, like you get to a point where, oh, okay, it's the third act. We know where this is going. Like there is such a weight of like just dullness. Whereas watching Elizabeth Olsen's performance, it's incredible. And sometimes I wonder, like people need to go and attend more actual theater. Like you need to go see more plays, you need to go to Broadway, but like you need to see real performances because there is more to the cinematic experience than just people punching each other in a CGI background.
Yeah.
And I want more of it. This is what I want more of. Oh, hang on. I got a quick question. Frank also said more character drama. Viewers are fickle. I'd agree. Batwing says WandaVision is a very successful show. Don't you think it makes too much sense not to make a second season, or do you think they will build the lore in other movies and TV shows? I don't think. Again, it's not going to get a second season in the traditional sense. There's no going back from this show. There's no redoing this. Wanda's story will continue in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but again, once she's done in the films, whether it comes back to a different kind of miniseries, that's a different discussion. But I don't think we're going to get like a traditional season 2. Viewers are fickle. Do you think Wanda will break down even more after seeing White Vision? That's very interesting. What do you think, Josh? Do you think she will?
I just think she'll be very, very angry with Hayward.
Let's see. Joe says, I wonder if we'll see more Agatha after WandaVision. I mean, if she's ancient, I hope they don't kill her off in the last episode. Interesting. Josh,
I
do you think
they will.
Agatha survives?
No, I don't. I think she's your standard kind of throwaway villain in Marvel, which I don't like. She is a good character, and I think she's better than half the other villains. She's funny as well.
I love
There's some
Catherine
really
Hahn.
good
The
bits
actress is amazing.
Yeah.
Hi,
I just
Kitten.
I think she's been set up to be killed in this season.
Fair enough. Frank says he wants to see Hayward taken out. Josh, what do you want to see happen to Hayward?
I want to see White Vision go haywire and then like decapitate him.
That also reminds me. Real quick, because I did have some DMs and emails that I wanted to get through. So I'm gonna go back and forth just for a quick minute. There was a few questions that I thought were interesting. I'm gonna pose them to Josh for obvious reasons. Josh, I know this one's crazy, but again, this is a question that got asked. I'm not going to comment on it one way or the other. Is Hayward Ultron?
Ooh. Ooh. No, I don't think so. But I think it's very possible. There was a line in Infinity War that was something like if you take out the Mind Stone, there might not be that much left, and Ultron's got to be in Vision at least somewhat, his actual body. So I'm thinking maybe like he'll kind of grow inside White Vision, and then bust his way out, and then we'll see him later.
Real quick, I have to ask, what would you do if when White Vision spoke, it was James Spader's voice?
Lose my mind. I'd be so happy. They wasted Ultron.
They did.
And I want to see him re-established as a very persistent villain. I want him everywhere. He's. I think he could be the next Thanos if they bring him back. Easily.
I agree. I totally agree. But I want to give credit though. Like, I don't know if it was because this is the penultimate episode, but like there was a lot of great theories and speculation in my DMs and in my comments. So like there was a lot, but there was a few that like really stood out to me. And then obviously everyone is still going crazy about Mephisto. I mean, like there's a bunch about, I think Mephisto's this one, I think Mephisto's that one, I think Mephisto's Ralph, which again is a pretty popular one, which leads us back into, again, another question that I'm going to forward to Josh. Josh, who is Ralph?
I mean, he's gotta be someone. I don't think he's just some name that she threw out for no reason. So maybe it'll be revealed at the end that Ralph is Mephisto or Nightmare, but I don't want to see a big CGI battle with a giant demon at the end.
Well,
and I don't think they'd do that.
I don't think. Do you? Could you see like a setup? Like, I mean, just kind of posing. I mean, how you feel about this? Like, could you see a setup? Like, like maybe whether it's a post-credit scene or maybe Agatha reveals something, and then it's pretty much a teaser for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
I could see a post-credit scene where it reveals who Ralph is, and it's one of those two, and it sets it up for Multiverse of Madness.
I see.
Like I could very easily see that.
So now I also have to ask, because again, bunch of stuff here. Liz says, "Imagine if Ralph was literally just her annoying husband." Uh, yeah. So I also have to ask Josh, what do you think are going to happen to the twins?
I think they'll be fine.
You'll think they'll be fine. Do you think they'll age up again?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I don't
Okay.
think they'll keep them that young because I think they'll line them up with like kind of Haley Steinfeld's age and all that, so they can create that young Avengers team.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, the other, obviously, as we get into this, there's been so much speculation. I mean, I literally get overwhelmed with it every day, which is always exciting and why I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Do you think? I mean, what do you think the odds are of like people setting themselves up for disappointment, depending on how crazy their speculation or theories are?
Well, I think it kind of. I think this episode and the reaction to it has kind of made me feel that it's possible a few people will be disappointed by next week's episode.
But again, I'm going to stop you right there because I'm going to ask my next question: is that Marvel's fault? Because that's going to be the important discussion after next week. Is it Marvel's fault?
I I think partially.
Oh, explain.
I I don't think the industry is, and Disney Plus hasn't been around that long, so I don't think they've been able to kind of do the MCU in this format before, and I
Yeah.
think that is partially why they've never focused as heavily on characters as they should. Because if you look at like Thor's character arc and that across those three movies, it's very much so in the background. Besides Thor Ragnarok, but that's his movie. So it's like I feel like they've never been able to, because they've never had, however long we've had with Wanda and Vision across these episodes, they've never had that amount of time in a row to just dish out constant character development. But also, they didn't need to shoehorn in what I think are just the most stupid villains in a lot of those movies. Like, Obadiah Stane is awful in Iron Man 1. I know
Yeah.
you love that movie,
I enjoy Iron
but
Man 1. It's if out of the Iron Man films, again, if you're a new viewer, if you're just checking us out or you haven't watched every stream, which is, Iron Man 1 is my favorite Iron Man film. Not MCU, just favorite Iron Man film. Anyway, go on.
yeah, I think the issue is we've never had this amount of time at once to develop a character, and I don't think that's entirely Marvel's fault because it's really risky and you can't expect them to just jump at that immediately. But also, I just feel like if they didn't shoehorn in so many stupid villains into so many movies, they could have developed characters and given us
I
this
mean,
quality.
but that
And
and
gotten people
that's
used to
fair.
it.
But again, people have. There's a lot of crazy theories and speculation going on. So like, if it comes around, and again, it's inevitable. Some of these things won't happen. Is that also Marvel's fault?
I don't know. I don't. I think a lot of people kind of theorize a bit too wild, and then
Yeah.
they'll get disappointed when it's not that wild. And I don't think that's Marvel's fault. I think that is people saying unrealistic standards.
Are you okay for you? Are you
Hmm.
disappointed if the aerospace engineer is no one?
No, because I understand that me expecting it to be Reed Richards is insane.
Fair enough.
I mean, I said like 10 minutes ago I don't think they'd introduce a new character and a new actor, and I've contradicted myself saying I think it'll be John Krasinski and Reed Richards.
Fair. Fair. So, I guess overall, would you say? Because would you say this is your favorite episode of WandaVision so far, or how would you like? What are you feeling right now?
This is my favorite one, easily.
Okay, right on. And again, I'm right there with you. I said it. This is my favorite episode as well. I've been looking forward to it since the descriptions. I really thought this was a powerful episode. It had what I consider to be two very big reveals. But again, it's all interpretation. One of the big reveals. No, this is technically a retcon, however you want to call it. But Wanda's powers did not come from the stone. That's a big reveal, and that shoe isn't done yet. There's another shoe that's going to drop. And then two, the fact that everybody thought she was going to end up taking that Vision body. She didn't take Vision's body. She created Vision wholesale, and then Hayward has been working on Vision, and there's Vision. So I really, really thought this was, I don't know. In my opinion, I thought this was a really powerful episode. I really did. I really did. So
Yeah.
I strongly disagree with at least some of the DMs I've received. I have to be honest. I do disagree. I don't. I'm happy that there was no action. I'm happy we got a real strong character episode. And frankly, I want to see more of this in other Marvel properties. I really want to see it go somewhere. And next week is the finale. And again, we're not getting another secret week of WandaVision. I want to. I don't know where this is coming from. I'm going to real quick before I turn back over to the live chat. I want to make a couple things very clear. Next week is the finale. There is not another secret week. There is not an episode 10. This is Dante's Inferno, so to speak. I've been touting that since the beginning, but it is 100% ending next week. Set your expectations accordingly. Speculation's fun. Theories are fun. I love all of it. I love getting all these responses from everyone. But, set your expectations. Go in as clean as possible. I am almost 100% positive shit is going to leak. It's inevitable. Or at least visually. I mean, description-wise, that's one thing. But descriptions, I mean, eventually scenes are probably going to leak from the finale. It is inevitable. If you can avoid it, don't look at them. Really, really do not watch any of it. Go in as clean as possible. Manage your expectations, go in as clean as possible. Do not, again, it goes right back to that Luke Skywalker moment from The Mandalorian. Don't have your surprise ruined. Really, really, really don't have your surprise ruined. And then one other thing, there was a few comments. I want to make this very clear, also for legal purposes. This is very important for legal purposes. Someone asked about that I am the leaker. I want to be very clear. I am not hacking Disney. I have not myself hacked Disney in any way. All this is information that is sent from me, sent to me, and that I relay to you. Literally, I have nothing to do with Disney at all. So Disney has no reason to come after me. But apparently there was some confusion, but because I had been asked how I got into Disney, and that is not what's happening at all. There are individuals, I don't know them personally. If you've followed other episodes, you know that I drop our YouTube email address. I urge people, if they have any information that they're willing to share and that they're okay with me sharing, I urge them to send it to me, and that's what happens. Sometimes it's in other languages that I have to translate, such as the descriptions, which have all proven to be accurate. I have to give that individual a ton of credit. They have said that they have not wanted to be named. I'm respecting that. This individual, though, has contacted me. I did not do any kind of hacking in any way, but all of their descriptions have been right all the way up to episode 8, and I expect their episode 9 description will be right as well. I do not doubt them anymore. I don't know them personally, of course. Then, as for the episode 8 leaks, where we actually had visuals of Vision, that video I posted, again, that was not me hacking into Disney's server. I received that in an email from an individual. So, again, I am not doing anything to Disney. And I want to thank the people who take the time, whoever they are, however they obtain this information. I want to thank them for sending it to me. I really do appreciate it. I don't know if they're putting their careers on the line. I have no idea about that. I don't know. I don't know them personally. I do not. But I really am thankful, and gracious that they're willing to share stuff with me, and that they understand that I will respect their privacy, and I will do my best to keep them out of anything. So yeah, we're gonna quickly turn over. Will you be doing the same thing for Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Yes, every week. We're going. We're pretty much. If there is a Marvel show, we're going to have a live discussion on it. Period. So we've got a busy.
Star Wars 2, right?
Yeah, Star Wars 2. We're going to be doing Bad Batch as well. But yeah, Bad Batch starts on May the 4th. We're going to have a May the 4th live talking about Bad Batch, and every week that there's a Marvel show, we're going to be discussing it. We're going to follow right up through it, so we've got a busy year, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited for it. Let's see. LRG asks, "Hey, you hear Disney is making a Fortnite show?" Yes, I did. That
Unfortunately,
yeah, unfortunately. CRX says, I've missed a little bit, so I'm going to try to get caught up real quick. CRX SS says, I hope there isn't an overwhelming negative response if the finale doesn't meet the general audience's standards. I love this format, and I don't want Marvel to go back on it. I agree as well. Do you guys have any theories on the missing kids Easter eggs in the show and in the Spider-Man 3 teasers? That is very interesting. Hang on, we'll wrap back around that in just a minute. Adam Stewart says, "Have you seen the Shang-Chi Lego set? His costume is so nice." Yes, Josh and I talked about that. I think it was last week. We talked about the Dragon Lego set because I saw it a couple of weeks ago and we talked about that in our live show. It was a part of one of our Leaks live streams. But yeah, really excited about that. Very very excited. Frank says, "Do you think we have been watching any scrolls so far in WandaVision?" Oh, that's interesting. Josh, do you think
Hayward.
anyone is a scroll in WandaVision?
If anyone, Hayward, because he seems kind of. I don't know if it's like an obsession or whatever, but he was tracking the vibranium signature of Vision in the Hex, right?
Yes, he was.
So maybe he's like a scroll that's come to Earth and is looking to harvest their most powerful resource. Something like that.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Could be Super Scroll.
Kitten says they're trying to make my favorite into a bad guy, and I'm not down with that. Speaking about Scarlet Witch. Sanders, tell me who to attack with my Mind Stone. You haven't seen the finale yet. You don't. I mean, again, I don't.
Oh.
In my opinion, and I'm interested to see Josh's thoughts on this as well. I don't believe. I don't see Wanda as a villain or as the bad guy. Josh, do you?
I know, and people have been saying this since the get-go. Like, is Wanda becoming a a villain, and things like that. And I, I don't think for 1 second she's evil and anything. She did most of it on accident, and we see that in the episode.
Interesting. So you don't, because and again, this is something that it's again, this is a DM and this is a comment we've gotten for weeks now, but you don't think that this series is going to end with Wanda being revealed as the villain and Multiverse of Madness is Doctor Strange having to stop her?
No, maybe she does something on accident in the finale, or maybe she sees White Vision, and maybe Vision does end up permanently dead, and she just absolutely loses her shit, or something like that, and then Doctor Strange has to stop her. I don't know. Anything like that could happen, but I do not see her as evil or a villain, and I don't think I ever will.
LRG Tech says that he still thinks Hayward is Tyler Dayward. Interesting. Joe says he thinks Monica's friend could be a Skrull. Interesting. CRXSS says, I think it provides much needed commentary on mental health. I 100% agree with that. This episode, especially this episode in particular, really shines a lot on what people have to experience and go through. I mean, it was, I really thought it was powerful. I loved this episode so much. I really did. So, Josh, we're going into the finale. Next week is it.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that would disappoint you if it happened in the finale?
If the whole episode was just like, oh, Wanda v Agnes, and oh, Vision v Vision, and like Pietro v Monica or something like that, I'd hate that. If it was
Okay.
just that, like, it's cool if that's happening in the episode at some point, and I'm sure it will, because it has to. But I don't want that to be the entire episode.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. And what would be the one most exciting thing that could happen next week?
Reed Richards for me. Like, if I'm setting my expectations
Okay.
somewhat realistically, I'm not expecting like all the Fantastic Four to burst through a wall. I'd lose my mind and I'd love it, but I don't think it would happen.
Okay.
Or Crystal Falls Magneto.
Kitten says, do you think they have enough time to explain all the unanswered things? 100% yes. Now, it depends on what you mean by unanswered versus theories and speculation, but 100% yes. The finale will answer, absolutely. We saw her suit through her eyes. Yes, we saw her. We saw her vision, so to speak. A Wright says, "Am I the only one who thinks that it's implied? It's not implied, A Wright. That it's implied that the stone only amplified that she might have already had it. We talked about this at the top of the episode. Is one of the first things I talked about. We're wrapping back around to it. Wanda already had her powers before the stone. That is a major retcon. That is a fact. That this I want to like really. This is something that I want to set. And again, I guess you could say I'm setting expectations for all of you in a way. Wanda had powers before the stone. Now, what was retconned? In Age of Ultron, it was originally established that Wanda and Pietro got their powers from the stone. So
Yeah.
it has been retconned that Wanda already had her powers. Wanda had her powers before the stone.
I honestly think it's pretty safe to assume that Pietro did as well.
It would be safe to assume that. And it would also be safe to assume that they're mutants.
Hmm. And as we've seen, being a mutant can be genetic. So mutant parents, some
Yeah,
specific mutant
again,
parents.
Wanda and Pietro, there is a lot to unpack there. Liz Edit says, if all it took to brain vision back was a bit of Wanda's powers, then why didn't anything happen when she was messing with his head in the sword building? Well, again, that's not all it takes. Now, the one thing I will say is that Hayward was trying trying to manipulate Wanda into giving Vision life, but that is not all it takes.
And also, like Wanda doesn't really have control of her powers, so
No, she didn't, and she's always doubted herself. Now, that's what this whole episode was about. She has spent her entire life doubting herself, not thinking she was powerful, not thinking she was a very powerful individual, and all of this is basically her stepping forward going, no, I am powerful. I am the Scarlet Witch, and her claiming that identity, her claiming her power, and
in
unlocking
reality,
her full potential. And
she's basically a shonen character, which I'm fine with.
she is. She is basically a shonen character. That is an apt. That is 100%. Like that is a very apt comparison. And we're now at that point. As we head into the finale, we are at this. That's the tipping point. That is the tipping point. Agatha has made the claim. Agatha has called her the Scarlet Witch. There is another shoe left to drop, though. We're not at the end yet. And so, and it's going to be a good ride. And it's going to be fun to get there, I assure you. That next week's finale is going to be a really, really fun ride. And I urge you not to spoil it. Legitimately not to spoil it. So, Ricky says, if there was a scroll in WandaVision trying to harvest power, do you think more scrolls could come and cause a secret invasion storyline? Interesting. Very interesting.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I want Secret Invasion really badly, and I don't think they'll do it for a long time.
I see. Kitten says, we know that mutant powers activate during traumatic incidents most of the time. Yes, that's very true. They do.
Like getting bombed.
Yes, I am ready for that. Absolutely. And Ben says, odds are Agatha and the Ancient One knowing each other, and that's how Strange will know her and how to defeat her. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. All right. We're going to wrap up here for this episode because now it's all a matter of getting all of you to the next one, getting everybody to the finale, and so that we can have our really, really big, meaty discussion because it's going to be a big one next week. It absolutely is. So we are going to take a break for a bit. I'm going to have some lunch. We are going to be back actually because there is so much to catch up on. We're going to be back with another live stream where we got to talk about the state of play. And we got to talk about Pokemon Day and all the Pokemon announcements. So if you're interested in that, you can join us then. I want to thank everyone for being a part of this amazing 8 weeks so far of live discussions for WandaVision. This has been really, really fun. And again, just to wrap it up, just to 100% put a pin in all of this, okay? The way this usually works, always, this is how it usually works. If I am sent something in my YouTube email, which is gregsanderspresents@gmail.com, and if you have any information or are willing to share it, again, always email me, as I continue to urge you to. If I get it, odds are, as I've said and warned every week, odds are other people have it and it's out. Other people have it and it's out. That's it. That's just a fact. Episode 9 stuff is going to get out. It's going to. Don't read the descriptions. Don't watch a poor quality clip that somebody recorded. Don't do it. Do not do it. Really don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. Like, don't. I know
Don't
Josh
post on the
won't do it.
Discord either.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If you're in our Discord, again, I have to give credit to everyone. Everyone's been really respectful. I've posted, leaked content, absolutely. But everybody keeps it out of the Discord. And I want to thank all of my subscribers and everybody who's joined our Discord for that. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for keeping it a leak-free spot, and not just dropping information. There are people who don't want to know this. And really, 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 do not spoil next week's episode for people. Like, we're going to keep it under lock and key. That is 100%. Our Discord is going to be clean, and we're not going to discuss episode 9 in a random video. Like, it's not going to be up for discussion. Episode 9 leaks are not going to be up for discussion in our regular daily videos. That's going to be something that, whatever happens, we'll do it separately. But 100%, don't watch them anyway. Like, even if I talk about it, even if I have a video titled, this is, don't watch it. Don't watch it. I urge you not to watch it. Really don't. So, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. 1 week. That's all you got to do to stay spoiler free. 1 week. Do it. You'll thank me later. Don't fucking ruin it for yourself. All right. Bye, everyone. We will be back with our gaming live stream this afternoon. I look forward to talking about Pokemon and State of Play and a lot of other stuff that's coming up. So, bye, everyone.